Discussing the theorems on the invertible functions. So we already taken the definition of the invertible function in the previous session, that is a function f from a to b and a function g from b to a are called invertible if there exists a function. Then we say that g dot f equal to ia, f dot g equal to ib, where ia and ib as the identity functions on a and b respectively. So based on that we are discussing the theorems on the invertible function there. In that the first theorem is, the statement of the first theorem is the inverse of a function, f from a to b is unique. Inverse from a to b is unique. Then also if f of a equal to b, then f inverse of b equal to a, that we have to prove here. The inverse of a function f from a to b is unique, and f of a equal to b, then that implies f inverse of b equal to a. So come to the proof of the theorem. So when we come to the proof of the theorem here, consider a function f from a to b. F is a function from a to b is invertible. A function f from a to b is invertible, and it has a g and h as a inverse, and it has a g and h as a inverse. If g and h are the inverses of f, then we have to prove that. Let us prove that g and h are same. Means we have to prove that for the function f there is a unique inverse will be exist. Suppose h and g are the two inverses, both g and h are unique, that we have to prove here. Suppose if g and h are inverses, inverse of f, then g and h are the functions from b to a. Then g and h are the functions from b to a. If g and h are the inverses of f, then g dot f equal to ia, f dot g equal to ib. Similarly, h dot f equal to ia, f dot h equal to ib. Now consider h equal to, we can write a h as h dot ib. Now h dot ib can be replaced by f dot g. Now by the associative we can write it as h dot f dot g. Now h dot f equal to ia dot g. Ia dot g can be written as a g. Therefore h equal to g. This proves that h and g are not different. Therefore h and g are not different. Therefore inverse of f is unique. Inverse of f is unique here. So now come to the next one. Now consider let f of a equal to b. If g is the inverse of f, if g is the inverse of f, we have a equal to ia of a. A is nothing but the ia of a. Here ia can be written as g dot f of a. G dot f of a can be written as g of f of a. F of a equal to g of b. If g is the inverse of f, g can be replaced by f inverse of b. Since g is inverse of f, means g equal to inverse of f. So therefore g is replaced by inverse of b, that is equal to a. Therefore f inverse of b equal to a here. F inverse of b equal to a here. First we have to consider f is an invertible function and it has the inverses g and h. According to the statement, we have to prove that both g and h are same here. If g and h are the inverses of f, then g and h are the functions from b to a. Then by the definition of the invertible function, g dot f equal to ia, f dot g equal to ib, h dot f equal to ia, f dot h equal to ib. Let's consider h equal to, h can be written as h dot ib. ib is replaced by f dot g. So f dot g. H dot of f dot of g can be written as h dot f of dot g. H dot f equal to ia. ia is replaced here. ia dot g is nothing but the g. Therefore h equal to g. Therefore h and g are same here. Therefore inverse of f is unique. Come to the second half of the proof. If f of a equal to b and g is the inverse of f here. Suppose g is the inverse of f. Consider a equal to ia of a. Here the ia can be replaced by g dot f. G dot f of a equal to g of f of a. F of a is equal to b. G of b. If g is the inverse of f, then g equal to inverse of f. So replace a g. Inverse of b equal to a. That is the proof of the theorem. So there is some remarks here. Suppose f is invertible. Then f of a equal to b and a equal to f inverse of b are equivalent. Both are nothing but the same here. Second one, suppose if f equal to a comma b, where a belongs to set a, b belongs to set b is invertible, then f inverse is equal to b comma a, where b belongs to set b, a belongs to set a, and conversely. Suppose f equal to a comma b, where a belongs to set a, b belongs to set b is invertible, then inverse of f equal to b comma a, where b belongs to b and a belongs to a, and converse is also satisfied. Next, if f is invertible, then inverse of f is invertible. And f inverse of inverse is equal to f. If f is invertible, then inverse of f is invertible, and also inverse of f of inverse is equal to f. And fourth one, if inverse of f exists, then inverse of f equal to fc, where fc is the converse of converse of f, where fc is the converse of f. Next one is, suppose R is a relation. R is a relation from A to B. Suppose R is a relation from A to B, is invertible. Is invertible. Is invertible function. Is invertible function from A to B. Suppose R is a relation from the set A to B, is an invertible function from A to B, and A to B if and only if RC is an invertible. If and only if RC is an invertible from B to A. These are the 5 important notes or remarks. Suppose f of A equal to B is, means suppose f is invertible, f of A equal to B is nothing but A equal to f inverse of B. Both are equivalent here. Suppose if f equal to A comma B, A belongs to set A, B belongs to set B is invertible, then inverse of f equal to ordered pair B comma A, B belongs to set B, A belongs to set A. Converse is also satisfied. Suppose if f is invertible, then inverse of f is also invertible. Double inverse of the function is again a f. Suppose if f is inverse is exist, then inverse of f will be equal to fc, where fc is the converse of f. And fifth remark is, suppose a relation R from the set A to B is an invertible function from A to B, if and only if RC is an invertible function from B to A. Those are the 5 important remarks here. Come to the theorem 2. So in the theorem 2, a statement is a function f from A to B. A function f from A to B is invertible. A function f from A to B is invertible if and only if it is 1 1 and onto. 1 1 and onto. So come to the proof. Let f is invertible. Let f is invertible. Suppose f is a invertible, then there exists a function g from B to A. Then g dot f equal to IA, f dot g equal to IB. Now consider elements A1 and A2. Those are belongs to set A. Then f of A1 equal to f of A2. Take g of f of A1, g of f of A2. That can be written as g dot f of A1 equal to g dot f of A2. We know that g dot f is an identity function. G dot f is a IA. So IA of A1 equal to IA of A2. That is equal to A1 equal to A2. A1 equal to A2. Therefore, f is 1 1. F of A1 equal to f of A2 implies A1 equal to A2. Hence, f is 1 1. Now consider an element B belongs to set B. Consider an element B belongs to set B. If B belongs to set B means G of B belongs to set A. G of B belongs to set A here. Now consider B equal to, I write it as IB into B, where the IB equal to F dot G of B can be written as F of G of B. F of G of B. By this it is clear that thus B is the image of an element G of B, that is belongs to the set A under a F. That is by the definition of the onto. Therefore F is onto. Therefore F is onto. Suppose an element B belongs to set B, then the G of B belongs to set A. Consider a B equal to IB of B, that is equal to F dot G of B, that can be written as F of G of B. Hence FB is the image of an element G of B under a F. Therefore F is onto. Therefore F is onto here. Now conversely, suppose F is 1 1 and onto. Suppose F is 1 1 and onto. Then for each B belongs to set B, there is a unique A belongs to set A, such that B equal to F of A. For each B belongs to B, there is a unique A belongs to A, such that B will equal to F of A. So B equal to F of A. Now consider a function G. Consider a function G from B to A defined by G of B equal to A. Now G dot F of A is equal to G of F of A. We know that F of A equal to B. Therefore G of B equal to A, that is equal to IA of A. G dot F of A equal to IA of A. Similarly, F dot G of A equal to F of G of A. So F dot G of B equal to G of B. G of B equal to A, that is F of A. F of A equal to B, that is IB of B. F dot G of B equal to IB of B. G dot F of A equal to IA of A. This shows that F is invertible. F is invertible with the G as a inverse. This completes the proof of the theorem here. Suppose, consider the proof here. Suppose F is a function from A to B is invertible if and only if it is 1 1 and onto. So first consider F is invertible and then prove that F is 1 1 and onto. Conversely, consider F is 1 1 and onto and prove that F is invertible. First consider F is invertible. Suppose F is invertible, then there exists a function G from the B to A, where G dot F equal to IA, F dot G equal to IB. Now consider any two elements A1 and A2, those belongs to the set A. Then F of A1 equal to F of A2. Take a G on both sides. G of F of A1 equal to G of F of A2. G dot F of A1 equal to G dot F of A2. That is IA of A1, IA of A2. Therefore A1 equal to A2. So consider this one as not a IA, consider it as a IB because there is a A2 is there. So consider it as a IB. So IA of A1 equal to IB of A2. That implies A1 equal to A2. Therefore F is 1, 1. Now consider an element B belongs to set B, then G of B belongs to A. Then G of B belongs to A. So consider B equal to IB of B, where IB is nothing but the F dot G of B, that is F of G of B. F of G of B. If we know that if A belongs to set A, then F of A equal to B. Instead of A here it is G of B. G of B here. So B equal to IB of B, then it is F of G of B. Thus B is the image of an element. G of B belongs to A under the F. So conversely, suppose F is 1, 1 and on 2. Then there exists for each B belongs to B, there is a unique A belongs to set A. That is B equal to F of A here. Consider a function G from B to A that is defined by G of B equal to A. Now G dot F of A equal to G of F of A. We know that F of A equal to B. Therefore G of B equal to A. That is IA of A here. Now F dot G of B equal to F of G of B, where the G of B equal to A. So therefore F of A equal to B, that is equal to IB of B. Therefore F is a invertible with the G as a inverse. Come to the next theorem here. Let A and B be the finite sets with the elements of A equal to elements of number of elements of B, and F be a function, F is a function from A to B. Then the following statements are equivalent. Those F is 1, 1, F is onto, F is invertible. Come to the proof here. Suppose F from A to B is 1, 1, is 1, 1. We know that elements of A equal to elements of B. It follows that F is onto. Suppose the number of elements of A equal to number of elements of B, and also F is 1, 1, that implies F is onto. This theorems is already proved in your previous. Based on the functions, we have already proved the lot of the theorems. There is a condition that suppose number of elements of A equal to number of elements of B, then if F is 1, 1, then F is also a onto. Suppose F is both 1, 1 and onto, consequently F is invertible. Consequently F is invertible. Now I am proving this by conversely. Suppose F is invertible. Suppose F is invertible. If F is both 1, 1 and onto, F is invertible. That is by the previous theorem. Now conversely, suppose F is invertible. Suppose F is invertible, then F is 1, 1 and onto. That we have proved by the previous theorem too, based on invertible function. That is, a function F from A to B is invertible if and only if it is 1, 1 and onto. We proved also by the conversely. Then each of these three tests, thus each of the three statements, each of the three statements of the theorem implies other two, therefore the three statements are equivalent. F is 1 1 implies F is onto and F is invertible. F is invertible implies F is 1 1 and onto, means each of the statement implies other two statements here. Therefore the three statements are equivalent here. Come to the next theorem. If F is a function from A to B and G is a function from B to C are invertible functions, then G dot F from A to C is an invertible function, and G dot F inverse of G dot F equal to inverse of F dot inverse of G. That we have to prove here. First consider F and G are invertible. Since, come to the proof here. Consider F and G are invertible. Suppose F and G are invertible, then they are both 1 1 and onto by the previous proof. If F and G are invertible, then F and G are both in 1 1 and onto. If F and G are 1 1 and onto, then G dot F is both 1 1 and onto. Then G dot F is also 1 1 and onto. That is by our previous proofs of the theorem. If G dot F is a 1 1 and onto, then G dot F is invertible. Then G dot F is an invertible. Now the inverse of F inverse of F is a function from B to A, and inverse of G is a function from C to B. Now consider H is equal to inverse of F dot inverse of G. Then H is a function from, suppose F inverse is a function from B to A, inverse of G is a function from G to B, then F dot G inverse F inverse dot G inverse is a function from F inverse dot G inverse is a function from C to A. H equal to F inverse dot G inverse. Then H is a function from C to A. Now consider G dot F equal to G dot F dot G dot F dot H is equal to G dot F dot H is equal to F inverse dot inverse of G. That can be written as G dot of f dot f inverse dot inverse of g. F dot f inverse is equal to ib dot inverse of g. Here this will be right based on the definition of the invertible function. Inverse of g is nothing but in the definition of the invertible function, that is of the form f dot g. G is nothing but f inverse in the definition of the function, in the definition of the invertible function. So therefore f dot f inverse equal to ib. So ib, this can be written as g dot inverse of g. G dot inverse of g equal to ic. Similarly, h dot g dot f equal to, h can be written as inverse of f dot inverse of g of g dot f. That can be written as inverse of f dot inverse of g dot f. Inverse of g dot g is equal to ib dot f. Inverse of f dot f. Inverse of f dot f equal to ia. G dot f dot h is equal to ic. H dot g dot f equal to ia. Means though both the expressions are inverse of g dot f. By the equation these two equation, g dot f dot h is equal to identity, h dot g dot f equal to ia. That implies h is the inverse of g dot f. H is the inverse of g dot f. Therefore h is the inverse of g dot f. Therefore h equal to inverse of g dot f. But we already considered that h equal to inverse of f dot inverse of g, that is equal to inverse of g dot f. That is the required proof of the theorem here. Now consider an example. Consider a function f from R to R that is defined by f of x equal to x square for all x belongs to R is a invertible. Now consider for any a belongs to element R. For any a belongs to R, we have f of a equal to, replace x by a, f of a equal to a square, and f of minus a is also equal to a square. But f of a equal to f of minus a, but a is not equal to minus a. Therefore f is not a 1, 1. If f is not a 1, 1, then f is not a invertible. Then f is not a invertible here. Consider the one more example. Let a equal to x such that x is a real number and x is greater than or equal to minus 1. B equal to x colon x is a real number and x is greater than or equal to 0. Consider a function f from a to b that is defined by f of a equal to square root of a plus 1 for all a belongs to set A. Show that f is invertible. Show that f is invertible and determine inverse of f. So come to the solution. First we have to check that f is 1 1 and onto. First check out the f is 1 1 and onto. Take a a1 comma a2 belongs to set A. Then f of a1 equal to f of a2 implies square root of a1 plus 1 equal to square root of a2 plus 1. That is a1 plus 1 equal to a2 plus 1. That implies a1 equal to a2. Therefore f is 1 1. Therefore f is 1 1. Now take an element b belongs to B. Then b equal to f of a implies b equal to square root of a plus 1. b equal to square root of a plus 1. That is b square equal to a plus 1. b square equal to a plus 1. b square equal to a plus 1 is nothing but a b square minus 1 equal to a. We know that b is greater than or equal to 0. B means that belongs to the set B. There is a condition that is always greater than or equal to 0. If B is greater than or equal to 0, that implies B square is also greater than 0. If B square is greater than 0, B square minus 1 is greater than or equal to minus 1. B square minus 1 is greater than or equal to minus 1. Thus, for every B belongs to set B, we have from this equation A equal to B square minus 1 as a pre-image on A under a F. Pre-image in A under a F. Therefore, F is onto. If F is both 1 1 and onto, then F is invertible. The inverse of F is equal to B square minus 1 for all B belongs to set B. That is the solution of the equation.